Evil Twin Skippy here, and we're going to have a recap of our character calculus video. Real quick, we're trying to invent our 12 personality types and tie them back to systems like the Enneagram so we can steal all their stuff. We had a decent mapping of our 12 personalities to the 9 Enneagram types if you squint hard enough. And then I tried to make it work with the Zodiac. Hey, 12 signs of the Zodiac, our 12 personalities. What could go wrong? But when the rubber hit the road, making our lineup of the horoscope also line up with our lineup of the Enneagram, it kind of fell flat. The answer last week's was to shift the Enneagram, and that solved some of our problems. But it caused a bunch of other problems. And, being a software guy, I hate when I don't know why something doesn't work, but I even hate more when I don't know why it does work. So, again, recap, we had taken the Enneagram and kind of tilted it sideways. Well, what that broke was this aesthetic where 3, 6, and 9 in the Enneagram, which they have special significance for, happen to line up with red, green, and blue on our color wheel, which, again, has special magical properties. And so by breaking that, by shifting it, and then, our mappings are all chaotic, this isn't going to be a system that you can kind of pick up and explain. And, we're trying to make a system that's better than all these confusing systems. Even if it's wrong, it just has to be simple and compelling. Now, joys of having worked at a planetarium, you can always fault the stars. Now, our Earth is not a very stable individual. It kind of bobbles and wobbles. And in the process of bobbling and wobbling, where north points to shifts over a period of about 26,000 years. And, while that makes figuring out which star is the North Star a challenge, that also changes which constellations are aligned with which parts of the year. So essentially the solstices and the equinoxes scoot over the course of this axial precession. I won't bore you with the math, but if you figure our modern zodiac was laid down by the Greeks around the turn of 2 millennia ago, axial precession has shifted where our calendar lines up with the celestial sphere by about 30 degrees. That essentially means that all the astrological signs have shifted by a whole sign. Now, if we do this correction instead of shifting the Enneagram, does that fix the problem we had lining up the Enneagram and the Zodiac? And lo and behold, we get the same correction we were looking for. Aries is now a number 1, a reformer. Chalk it up as a win. Libra is still a number, under the new system here, is a number 5, which last week's video, we're like, that's a good thing. Scorpio is still a 5-4 that we were looking for in our correction from last week. Virgo is a number 6, which, again, last week's video we said was a good thing. And just a spot check, I put as much information as I could condense into as few words from each of the systems and plotted it on one graph. So this inner ring is the kind of word bubbles from the Zodiac. This middle ring is the Mark Pearson personality archetypes. What you'll sometimes see as, the 12 Jungian archetypes. No, they're not Jungian. They're Mark Pearson. And the outer ring is the 9 numbers of the Enneagram. So let's spot check our work here. So under this new scheme, our hedonist will essentially be a Taurus on the horoscope, a peacemaker in the Enneagram, and the hero archetype from Mark Pearson. Leo, which we've never looked at before, so this is a spot check in the wild, will be our right archetype, the lover archetype from the Mark Pearson system, and a number 7 on the Enneagram. And, just spot checking, vibing on what each of these describing, they're in the ballpark. All right, one more spot check. So let's look at what's going to be our future rebel archetype. It's the Capricorn, the rebel in the Mark Pearson system, and the number 3 on the Enneagram. And I guess it kind of works, but it's the rebel. They're allowed to be a bit of a mess. And remember, our job as writers of fiction is to be truer than reality. So this is a different way to do it. Our themes that we're trying to reinforce here of characters being distributed around a color wheel still holds up. Our rules about character calculus and balance still hold up. All of the work in our previous video, the main video on character calculus, where we fit fictional characters around our color wheel, still lines up. Now, when we go to put together our 12 personalities, they'll better map the signs of the Zodiac, as much as you can map anything to the signs of the Zodiac. And we get to poke the astrologers in the eye with some real astronomical facts. So, kind of a big win all around. All right. Thanks for tuning in. You can follow this mess on the R Sublight RPG subreddit. And I have a deck that you can use today if you want to start improvising stories using a lot of the principles that we're describing in these videos. Thank you so much, and I will catch you in the next show. And I promise, now that I've got this all laid out, I can finally start cranking out the 12 character archetype videos.